Welcome to the Numerology and the Astrology for 6/15/2020. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 16, and if you add the 1 and the 6 together, you get the number 7. So the number 7 is about patterns, strategies, structures. It is the rhythms that happen within life. It is the sound of the wind as it comes in and goes across the mountaintops. It is the patterns within nature, why leaves grow on trees and certain mathematical equations, and why your mother will not use the china at Christmas time, and all these different things. Like, there are these patterns that we all establish when we're younger, and they carry on throughout our life, even when they're no longer really functional. So we're taking a look right now today at the patterns that are working and those that are not working. Where it's working, pat yourself on the back, applaud yourself, and say, yay, in this really tricky time, I've managed to, have some sort of control and some sort of semblance. Because if you understand the rhythms, then you can actually, feel like you're not out to lunch, or you're not out of control, or you're not lost, or you're not confused. Now, of course, control is an illusion, and something bigger and vaster outside of us is in control. But for the moment, let's try to have practical application of certain patterns that support life and the flow of that life. So, if you hadn't noticed, there are patterns and structures to massive change at the moment. And unfortunately, the world is experiencing those right now. You can feel the sets of stronger waves as they hit against your internal and external shores. There is a pounding, like a drum, that is building in its force, sound, and intensity. Have you ever been to the shore as the storm is rolling in? The waves tell you before the wind hits, and you can feel it rushing through your body. This moment has a force that is undeniable. You will recognize that while you want it to go away, you will continue to hear those pounding waves, and they are trying to tell you to get ready and prepare for something coming. And just like when you are on the shore hearing those waves, there is nothing you can do to make them stop. You can put a pillow over your head, earplugs in, listen to music, but you will still feel those waves pounding through the ground and into your body. Sorry, still allergies. The rhythms of nature are talking to us in the language that they know. Now the issue is, will we listen? So, the astrology for today, the moon is still in the assertive and aggressive sign of Aries. It gives more intensity to actions. Those that are not so bold will become more so. Those lacking spontaneity have the courage to try new things and make leaps. Responsibility is still the ongoing theme right now. Willingness and sacrifice seem to be required on many levels. Improvements come slowly because so much indecision is plaguing your mind and confusing your feelings. Use this time to create order out of chaos. Bring structure to things that seem to be chaotic. You might be feeling like a rubber band, one that is constantly being pulled in opposite directions. Old habits call to you but cannot be answered because you and your life have really rapidly changed. The universe is attempting to free you from your past in drastic ways. While that is a good thing, so much of it is really terrifying when it keeps coming at you incessantly. Just remember that most change in nature comes in chaotic and cataclysmic waves. This one is not so different. Anticipate the massive waves that are coming, then you will not be startled or afraid. Okay, my quote for today. The change is coming. Can you feel it in your body? You know it in your soul. You can hear the storm in the pounding of the waves. The winds are coming from a different direction. You hear a foreboding, an omen, a harbinger's voice in the wind. Birds are silent, the animals still and waiting. And you are finally listening, noticing, and sensing more than ever before. Some things are just too strong to be able to deny. And my blog for today. I think of all our ancestors who have weathered plagues, wars, pestilence, famines. And back then, they did not know what a virus or a bacteria was. The fear they must have felt would have been much stronger than what we are feeling now. I am grateful that we know so much more. We know that God is not punishing us. There is no denying that mankind is doing this to ourselves. We are the creators of this moment in time. We are being shown how to look past superstition and genetic patterns of bias and hate into the darkness within our own soul. When we embrace that darkness, we will discover the powerful light that we have been using to hold back the truth from our awareness. Once that truth is revealed, then that light is free to shine forth uninhibited by the mind's control and restriction. When you embrace your own darkness, you become a powerful beacon of the light for others. Okay, so the metaphor, as you could tell, this day is all these waves. And I don't know if you've ever really been at the shore when a storm is coming in and the waves are crashing against the cliffs. It literally goes through your body. It just, it literally goes through your body, and there, you can feel it. You can be laying on the bed and the bed is moving, because of the force that is nature and the power that is the ocean blasting itself against the edge of the physical world. So I love that. How do our emotions blast against our physical world? And right now, that is exactly what's happening. Right now, there is a lot of very intense emotion, and it is blasting against the shore of what our known reality is. And it is going to reshape that shore. And just as when a major storm comes in, or a hurricane or a typhoon comes in, or a tornado comes in, nothing is the same once that storm is over. And things do get rebuilt, but they get rebuilt differently, hopefully stronger and better, which is what I'm hoping for. I also just want to mention that there was a time years ago that I was actually at a personal growth workshop, a retreat. And I was staying in a house in Kauai with 4 other women, and it was a house that was built on top of a waterfall, if you can believe this. So it was beautiful. It was amazing. But the moment we walked in this building, all you could smell was mold. Because, all the building materials in Hawaii are wood. And so you're on top of a waterfall. So, literally the living room opened up into a deck, and then the deck, you're overlooking this waterfall, and the noise and the pounding, and they had even put in like soundproof windows and everything. And you could still feel the sound of the pounding of the water coming over the waterfall. And we're not even talking a major waterfall like Yosemite or something like that. I mean, we're talking like just a normal Hawaiian waterfall. But it was incredible how disturbing it was, because there was no silence. There was constant movement, constant change, constant flow. And I find that those things are exhausting. I mean, and so here's nature. It's constantly moving and flowing. And here we are at this moment in time, and we are needing to constantly move and change and grow. And we're constantly having to feel these emotions. And I think that we've gotten really good at like separating from our emotions, numbing out. And this moment in time, we can't. Just like you would be living on top of this waterfall. It was so bad that between the mold and my allergies exploding and feeling like I was going to die, to the sound and literally having to wake up like 12, 13 times a night to go to the bathroom because of this water flowing, like this constant water flowing in your body and outside. It's like when you get a force like that, it affects everything in your nervous system, because we are predominantly water. And so when you're around that kind of water, it really changes your energy field. And at first I thought it was like a good cleansing. And then on second thought, I thought, no, I think this is a little much for me. And I went and got a hotel room, and I just said, okay, I've already paid for this, but I'm going to get a hotel room, because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't rest. So I want everybody to notice how this time is exhausting. I mean, we have been going through this pounding, and it's like they're tearing down a world. They're tearing down America. They're tearing down our government. They're tearing down our everything that is familiar. They're tearing down all the safety nets. They're tearing down everything that we used to depend on in a crisis. They're tearing down preparatory things that would help us in times of crisis. We are being left with, like in the desert, walking around cactus with no shoes and no gear and no water and no sunglasses and no hat and no nothing. And that should terrify you. Okay, so feel the pounding. Do your own preparation. Make sure you have sunglasses and water and gear. Make sure you have everything that you need, because you're probably going to need it. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye.